Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Saturday stream. Timothy and Jay are not only on in the chat with us, but they are my producers. So they are behind the scenes, keeping me under control, keeping you guys under control. Dingback Goldfarb, hello, my friend. Welcome. And the 9 of the rest of you that are out there that aren't chatting, hello and welcome. So we're going to talk about some changes in money transfers that have happened just this week. And if my computer screen will agree with me, Jay and Timothy actually have my notes. So George, hey, good to see you. Yeah, I kind of, whenever I have a week I take off, I kind of miss things. So I feel like I don't know, fallen down on the job or something. Christopher, hello. Hand wave. Okay, so Edelwolf, howdy. Linda, hello. Rogue less traveled. Yeah. Hey. So we will be joined a little later by my friend and co-host on a couple of shows, Eddie Gonzalez. And just so y'all know, I'm going to turn the stream on American in Crimea off in a few minutes and force you all over to the other channel. The link is in the description with a big notice on the American in Crimea channel. But it will be on this channel. So I'll give you all a chance to pop on over to that channel, and you can actually hear about the money transfer stuff there. Those of you who decide to stay on the American in Crimea channel, it's going to be a mighty, mighty short stream for you tonight. So Michael, hey, how you doing? So like I say, I'll give you all about 2 more minutes to pop over to the other channel, and then we'll get right into it. Like I say, Eddie will be coming to us when he's through cooking dinner for his wife, and we will be on the air tomorrow night. We will be talking a bit more tomorrow about a variety of topics, but some of the things that many Westerners expect that they aren't going to get here. Eddie will tell us a little bit tomorrow about his trip to Nizhny, to the BRICS Summit in Kazan, and whatever else we come up with. So, Nelly, hello there in Murmansk. So, no, don't unsubscribe from American in Crimea. I hope to have it monetized again by December, but we're going to try to separate the informational stuff from the Crimea stuff just a little bit, since we now have the freedom to do things. No, George, I will have both. We're going to keep the Crimea stuff in the American in Crimea channel, and general interviews, things like that, and informational things for those moving to Russia or an Eastern country. We will be doing on the West to Freedom channel. So just to kind of separate things out a little bit. Yeah, so I am now 5 minutes into this stream, so I'm going to turn off the American in Crimea channel. So last chance, guys, go over to yahoo.com K Micalizzi. And yep, I meant YouTube. Yeah. Well, I'm a Yahoo, so what can I say? Uh, who put that in there? Jeez. Okay. Chutubi. I shouldn't have said that either because I just came up with YOOTOOB. So, um, yeah, there we go. So that's where we will be. I'm going to let Timothy advertise his channel. I know I've got a banner here somewhere for him, but he's going to have to find it in there. Um, I don't know. Timothy, you'll have to scroll through and find it and put it up. Ah, got it. So go visit Timothy over here. He's my producer, one of my producers tonight. You want to hear about diving and interesting underseas creatures? This is the place to go. And yeah, so take that off the screen. Well, I'll give you a couple more minutes to get over here. Now that I have the right one there, I wonder how many more I have yahoo.com on. But yeah, Yahoo. Poutine, thank you for pointing it out. Yes. Um, okay. So I'm going to turn the other channel off. Remove. And we will not delete it so that people that go there will find us. So we should be on Rumble and YouTube at the new channel. And granola. We will get to questions a little bit later. And this is what my producers are holding me to today. So I'm going to get right into this and be pretty quick about things. If you guys, the links are already in the show notes. If you guys don't catch something, I am not going to go back and repeat because I have a cutoff at exactly 9 p.m. Moscow time. Eddie does as well. So I'm going to hit these pretty hard and fast. And any questions we have time for, we will deal with. So, changes in money and consultations. And get off the damn Yahoo stuff. I already changed it, for crying out loud. Um, so, consultations. I am no longer doing free consultations because I find the people that are serious about transferring money always pay me for a consultation. It's only the Yahoos, which is probably where I came up with that in the uh, title I was thinking of, the Yahoos who really aren't serious or want to transfer $100 or $50. They're the only ones who do free consultations with me. So I will not do free consultations anymore. If you want to transfer money, you can pay me for a consultation or ping me in Telegram. I will give you some short advice in Telegram. And if I really think your situation warrants a consultation, I will give you one and determine if I will do it for free or not. I have certain people I will do them free for because I know they're serious about transferring money. But this is kind of my way to weed out the guys who aren't serious and are just time wasters. You will find that Eddie is doing the same thing with his consultations. He will no longer do free consultations either. Um, Part of this came about because I will no longer entertain those who come to me in Telegram as anonymous people or schedule appointments with me, paid or otherwise, who do not want to give me their real name, their real email, or their real telephone. If you come to me in Telegram, you want to ask me about money transfers, I'm happy to answer some questions there, potentially set up a free consultation. But if you come to me in Telegram, introduce yourself. Do not just come in and say, hey, tell me this. I want to know who you are. I have laws I have to follow here in Russia. This is why I say I can legally transfer your money into Russia. But that means I have KYC, that stands for Know Your Customer, laws that I have to follow. And I will talk about the KYC documentation momentarily. But those of you who say you want to keep your identity private from the Western authorities, I have bad news for you. You are not going to keep your identity private because they already know who you are. They know everything about you. You are not private from anybody but the guys who need to know who you are, which is guys like me and Eddie. Eddie and I will discuss this privacy issue tomorrow night as well. But rest assured, your identity is already known by the very people you want to keep yourself anonymous to. So there's no hiding from them. I can tell you that for a fact because it's what I did for a living in the United States. No, they do not delete your pensions. I will get to that later. So if you don't provide a valid name, email address, and telephone number on my website, I will turn down your consultation. If you ping me on Telegram, introduce yourself first. So again, as Timothy, as I think, I don't know, one of the guys out there said a minute ago, tire kickers, Christopher said it. Tire kickers are never serious. They're also the ones who give me crap about exchange rates and things. When Eddie comes, we're going to talk about a couple of those situations. So that said, my prices to send your money to Russia have increased at the banks. So my fees have increased as well. The fees that I quote you on covers our basic costs from once the money is received in my account and converted to its first currency, and then until it arrives in Russia. So if you have to wire money to me because you don't have a wise.com account, don't count the wire fee in your calculation for what you're getting for the money out the other side. That's your fee. And I'll talk about ways to get money to you in Russia. If there's fees to do that, you will pay those as well. That's on top of my fees. So wire fees, exchange rates, those are all things that you're paying for outside of what you're paying me to transfer your money. The exchange rates along the way after it's converted to the first currency, that's covered in our fees. Right now, it's costing 7.5% to send by Swift, including those exchange rates. Sometimes it's coming in at 6.8, 7%, but I'm quoting you 7.5 so that if you get a better rate than that out the other end, you will be happier with me. And again, I'm making no more money on this than I was previously. This is all money that's going to the banks along the way. So, it often goes below 7% and rarely goes above 7%, but I have no control over what I'm being changed on or charged on a daily basis because the exchange rates are so volatile right now that, they can be affected by 1/4 to 0.5% by the time it gets here. Crypto exchanges are 3%. They remain the same if you're sending USDT BEP20 only. Any other cryptocurrencies I can convert for you legally in Russia, but any additional network fees are your responsibility, not mine. So when it comes to the crypto, I have a couple of points to mention to you. Number one, you must use a licensed exchange to convert crypto to rubles in Russia. There's now three of them. I work with two of them, and I was pinged by a new one in Crimea that I will be talking to sometime in the next week or two about possibly working through them. If you are a crypto expert and you use somebody that is not licensed in Russia to exchange your money, and there's a lot of them out there, they offer a little bit more than we do. You are risking your visa and your possibility to immigrate if you are caught. And Russia is actively closing down these illegal exchanges at the moment. I know the guys who are working on it. I do work with them, and understand that it will be a risk. So there's three licensed in the country of Russia right now. I'm already working with two of them. Discounts. I forgot about this one. It's not in my show notes that I sent to my producers, but I added it in later because I had a few minutes. And yes, discounts. So for very large exchanges, I can sometimes offer a discount. I'm already operating on slim margins right now because I'm eating some of the bank fees myself. So due to those increased fees, I am not offering discounts on small transfers anymore for anybody. So if you feel your transfer is large enough to warrant a discount, you will need to have a consultation with me, and we will agree whether the amount warrants a discount and by how much. I can tell you right now that a large amount is 200,000 US dollars equivalent. So if you want to transfer $100,000, you're going to have to talk real sweet to me to convince me to give you anything off on that. So 20 minutes. Yes. So exchange rates. I get asked this all the time. Gee, if I send you money tomorrow, how many rubles will I get? I don't know, because when you send me money, I don't know when I'm going to receive it in my bank account. I can receive US dollars to a US dollar account. I can receive Canadian dollars to a Canadian dollar account. I can accept Great British pounds to a Great Britain account. And by the way, I'm transferring money for 3 Brits right now, and they tell me I'm giving them absolutely wonderful exchange rates. That's for those of you in the UK and for Timothy and Jay. So they tell me I'm giving them better than most on Great British pounds. And I can accept euros in the Eurozone. I'll tell you that the cheapest currency to convert right now is Canadian dollars. So if you have a wise.com account, you can convert it yourself to Canadian dollars and send it to me, or Great British pound. So those are treating people real good. I cannot guarantee an exchange rate before the money arrives in Russia. I get on exchanges, I will get you a minimum of what Spurbank's published exchange rate is on the day the money is received by me in Russia, not received by me in the United States or Great Britain, in Russia. That is when I can set the exchange rate. I was looking at this in this new exchange that's now based in Crimea, and they have the same deal. I have to go to their office with the deal. We make an agreement for what the exchange rate will be that day, and it's good for 1 hour. So I cannot guarantee you anything before then. If you ask me for a quote, I can give you a ballpark figure, but the exchange rates are so volatile right now. They're changing every 3 to 5 minutes throughout the entire day. Usually about 6, 7 p.m., they lock for the night, usually. So don't ask me for how many rubles you will get. I can only give you a quick estimate. Um, or you can look on bankiros.ru, bankiros.ru, and you can look up the Sberbank currency exchange on the day you're asking, and you can figure out, take the dollar amount that you're sending, subtract 7.5% from it, multiply it by that, and you will get that or a bit more, as long as the exchange rates don't go down. Um, so uh, minimum and maximum transfers. I'm making some changes there as well. If you want the Sberbank or better exchange rate, the minimum is 1,000 US dollars or equivalent. I will also do 1,000 Great British pounds at 1,000 pounds. Euros, same thing. They're all, a little bit higher than the dollar. But if you want a good exchange rate, 1,000 US dollars or equivalent. I will do smaller transfers for you, but 500 US dollars is the absolute minimum. I cannot do $200 because I could, but you're going to get, right now it's like 72, 73 to the dollar. At $200, you're going to get about 72. So I'm not going to hurt you in doing that. I'm not going to do that for the little bit I'd make out of it. 500 is the absolute minimum, but you will get a lower exchange rate than what the banks are offering, what Sberbank is offering. So that's just the way it is. Now, if you want me to transfer money directly to your bank card in Russia, the maximum amount I will transfer to your card for your own safety is 400,000 rubles. So that's about 4,000 US dollars right now. The reason is because if you have a 500,000 rubles transferred to your card on one day, you have a high likelihood of having your bank, my bank won't do it. Your bank may block your account, and until you prove where the money came from, you may have access to only 20,000 rubles a month. If you want me to do more than that, I certainly can, but you take all the risk. So for card transfers, I need a photo of your actual card showing the numbers on the card. And if you have a personalized card with your name on it, then, you know, that's a benefit too. I need the telephone, the Russian telephone number that's tied to your bank account. And I need the name on the account written in Cyrillic. So these are required for verification that the actual person it's supposed to go to gets the money. Now, I don't care in that case if it goes to your card, your wife's card, your best friend's card, or some stranger's card. Whatever information you give me is where it will go to. And again, 400,000 rubles. More than that, you take the risk of your account being blocked. So those transfers will come in somewhere between 10,000 and 200,000 rubles per transfer from various card holders at the exchange. And we do this to try to prevent the security checks. But again, it's risky when you go over 500,000 rubles. So 500,000 or larger, we will, what we want to do is cash transfers, cash delivered to you in Russia, um, or to deposit directly to your bank account. Um, Now, there's some gotchas on that, and people are putting things in my chat I got to look at. So, a contract is now required for any transfer of 4,000 US dollars or equivalent or more. You will receive a contract in Russian and English from DocuSign. You have to sign it, and you must provide a copy of your passport data page. And if you have a Russian visa, your Russian visa data Absolute requirement for new KYC laws in Russia that just came into effect. The bank will not let me transfer money to you without that. If you're a citizen of Russia, all you need is the data page, of course. Um, and I will require your full bank account requisites. The requisites are available in your phone app. It's got your account number, it's got the bank's INN, the IBAN number, all that stuff. I have to have that. Now, to receive cash in Russia, you have to be a Russian citizen. So, if your wife is a Russian citizen, I can send you money. I can send her money. If your best friend is a Russian citizen, I can send them the money for you. If you're not a citizen, I can't send you cash. So then we're down to, um, you know, if you and your wife are not citizens and you have nobody you trust to accept it for you, I can receive it for you and I can deposit it directly into your bank account from Spurbank. So it'll go from Spurbank directly to your bank account. And, these things are required to help prevent your account from being blocked. Now, when you're talking a 5 or 6 million ruble deposit, there are issues with the banks because of this brand new financial regulation law that they placed on the banks. And like I say, it's brand new. Um, it requires the contract and a copy of your foreign passport and visa. There will be delays because the sending bank will do a security check. They will check the contract, the passport. They may ask questions. I did one a couple of days ago and they said, well, this contract is in this guy's name, but you're sending it to a woman as well. It's his wife. Well, are they legally married or is it just a girlfriend? Well, they're legally married. They wanted to talk to the guy. They want to know that I have a personal relationship with you, that we've spoken on the phone, that they're basically looking out to make sure it's not Telegram scams because there are a lot of Telegram scammers out there right now and people send them millions of rubles and get nothing out of the other end. So the sending bank will do this. That delay can be 24 to 96 hours. I've had good luck getting them through on my end in less than a day because I do enough of them. So I am not responsible for the delays at the banks for security checks. Your bank may also do a security check for a large transfer. They may ask you to prove the source of the income. I have no control over those security checks for large amounts. So if you don't have a Russian citizen who can accept a cash delivery for you, this is, what we will have to go through. And I am not responsible if your bank blocks your account until you verify your source of income for receiving the funds. Now, those of you who are not yet in Russia, I can receive the money. I will put it in an escrow account for you. I will hold it for you, and then we will do the bank transfer. But just understand that I can't do large amounts of money as quickly as I can with other things. And Eddie has joined us. We'll pick up. Hey, Eddie.
Hey, wow, you
And
just threw me on, man.
yeah, I'm just going at it. And we have producers, so they're starring the questions. I'll go back to them. So do not ask me to disclose how I get money here. I am protecting the people who are helping me transfer it, the banks who are helping me transfer it, any crypto exchanges that may or may not be involved in it. I'm protecting them. It is not a simple procedure, and you will not be able to diagram it as some people have tried doing. The procedure that I am using to get you money here in Russia, which is why I have these requirements for the passports, the contracts, and everything is because it is legal in Russia to convert your money and put it into your bank. However, and this one will strike a chord with Eddie, I'm sure, you will be violating Western sanctions. So, just going to tell you that sending money to Russia from anywhere, you are violating sanctions. So, if you're worried about being totally legal from end to end, well, you're only going to be legal in Russia. Yes, this is the new rate. The purpose of the rate is actually to lower the exchange rates. So over the last couple of days, last week I was getting 97 to 1 US dollars to rubles, and today it's down to 91 and a quarter. So they do this to get the exchange rate down, but your credit cards, your bank loans will all go sky high. My credit card just went up to 29.5% interest if I buy something on it. Fortunately, Spurbank loves me and I have 180 days interest free. Never use my credit card other than an emergency or need a quick pile of money and then I pay it off right away. So, just be aware of those things. Crypto. Oh, yeah. So I won't explain the process to you. If you don't trust me or those who recommend me, guys like Eddie, Dan Castle, Tim Kirby, Joseph Rose, any of these guys that I've helped in the past, then I can't help you. And I won't hold your hand through the process. I will keep you informed about where your money is at every step of the way. Crypto, I will not teach you how to buy cryptocurrency. If you want lessons on how to do it and stay out of trouble and not lose money, I offer paid lessons for this. If you think you're a crypto expert, then don't come to me and ask stupid questions because I won't help you. It's your responsibility at that point to buy and sell the correct coins. And this is why Eddie showed up just in time, because this is what we were going to talk about. Some so-called experts. So, Eddie, I had a guy a couple of days ago, he bought Ethereum instead of USDT ERC20, which is USDT that goes over the Ethereum network. Yeah. And he wondered why he had to pay a fortune to send it and get it converted.
Because he didn't do his homework.
And he didn't listen to what I told him. So Ethereum is actually what they call gas. And gas is what it costs to pay network fees. So if you buy gas and you want me to convert it to rubles, I have to convert the gas back to USDT, which costs a fortune from certain coins. And then you have to pay to transfer it. Ethereum is the worst to transfer, highest fees out there. Eddie has some experience with that.
You would know. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I almost lost some money. It cost me some tax, but I'll explain what happened. So I've been I was an investor at one point in crypto and in precious metals. Then I was just buying and selling, not really investing, and now I use it to sometimes transfer money to Russia. No secret. Everybody knows I do it. Uncle Sam knows I do it. I'm here on YouTube telling you I do it. But I know what I'm doing. At least I think most of the time. Well, I went to make a transfer and I had started one process using one particular network with one particular type of coin. And then I said, wait a minute, I could save some money if I go over to this particular network with the same coin. But I left both windows open on my computer. Okay, this is just a dumb, stupid mistake. And I copied the wrong wallet where the crypto is supposed to go into because it went over a different network from the network that I should have transferred it to. Make a long story short, cost me 7 days of nervousness and nerves because I didn't know if I was going to get my money back. I got my money back minus an idiot fee of 5%. And I'm grateful that it was only 5%. So if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it and use an expert. End of story.
Yep. I actually had somebody about 2 weeks ago bought quasi coins. This is some of the new little guys that are out there that tell you you're going to make a fortune on them. And he contacted me and he says, "Can you exchange this for me?" And I says, "Nope, I don't have any exchanges who will take it." He is actually an expert in this particular coin, but not in the networks and the exchanges. As Timothy and Jay have on the screen here, one of the reasons you pay me or somebody like me to transfer your money is because I know what the laws are in Russia. I know what the crypto laws are here. You are not allowed to exchange more than 60,000 rubles, 600 US dollars worth of crypto a year, unless you take an exam to prove to the Russian Federation that you know what you're doing and you aren't getting scammed by people on Telegram. But people keep doing it. They keep getting screwed. And this is why the banks have implemented these new procedures effective in the last week. So, people to receive regular pensions, a similar premium collect. Yeah, people who ping me and say, "I want to send $1,000, I can do that. I prefer to do 3 or 4,000 because it takes me the same amount of time, whether it's 500, 1,000, or 100,000, takes me the same time, but I don't care. Again, the 1,000 is my minimum for a decent exchange rate. Less than that, I'll do it for you once in a while, but you're going to eat it on the exchange rates. Hey, Mr. Wonderful. Yes, they are allowed to transfer money outside of Russia. Coming in, let me clarify that. Crypto platforms are actually legal in Russia now as of September 1st, as long as they have an office in Russia and they are licensed in Russia. These are the new requirements. I have people who say, I can go to bestchange.ru and I can look one up and they'll give me 4 or 5 rubles a dollar better than you can give me. So, yep, go ahead. It's illegal. They're not licensed here. They do not have an office in Russia. The exchange Eddie uses is one of the exchanges I use. They have an office here, which is why we can offer cash delivery. They are licensed here. So we are doing it legally in Russia. Bybit, I'm not sure if Bybit is actually licensed in Russia or not. I know they can do P2P transfers and nothing else for Russians or people living in Russia. But P2P is dangerous. You got any thoughts on that, Eddie?
I do. And I'll be right back because I just realized I didn't hook up a battery to my camera. and I don't know how long it's going to last. So
I'm going to send you the 1,200 rubles
surprised.
to go buy a power cord.
You're not surprised. All right. I'll be right back. And then I'll tell you about P2P. I'll just tell you about P2P right now. Don't do it. End of story.
Yep. So P2P, old story. So if my dear producers with 20 minutes left in the show would like to put some questions up, Yeah, P2P is wild, wild west. You may get your money, you may not. A lot of platforms say they have escrow services, and the way it works is you will be asked to send money to like somebody's wise.com account, and the money, the rubles never go into escrow. You sent your money, and you get screwed on it. So, um, in the background here, one of my producers is saying that UK credit card rate is 28.9%, which is normal. So Russia's up there now too, in an attempt to keep the dollar versus ruble exchange rate down. Now understand, it's the time of the month. The last week of a month, the first week of the next is when the central bank releases their new rates in an attempt to lower down the exchange rate on the ruble to the dollar. And then it will go back up again for a couple of weeks before they push it back down again. So right now is actually the worst time to send a large amount of money. And in another week, week and a half, it'll be a good time again. So it's a cyclical thing over the last 8 months. So we got some questions there, dear producers, dear Timothy and Jay. I know we must have some questions in the background there. I think they're fighting over who's putting them up. They do not delete your pension in the West as soon as you move to Russia. No, they do not, Tatiana. In fact, I receive my pension here, and Social Security has my Russian address in Moscow, and the IRS has my Russian address. Now, I do have to report any income I earn in Russia to the United States, and I guarantee you, I promise I do it. Unfortunately, I'm a piss poor businessman and I make no money here. I'd prefer paying my taxes to Russia, and they no longer have a tax agreement. Um, so, yes, you can still get your pension. You can still get your Canadian pension if you move to Russia. You can still get your UK pension, your German pension. You can get them all, but you need to know how to transfer it here, which is where we come into it. How does someone from the West manage to use their money in Russia with no access to their Western funds? Eddie, you can answer that one. I think I've
Well,
said it about 4 times now.
we just talked about it right now. You're going to have to transfer that money to Russia legally using crypto. There are other ways you could do it, but they involve travel to another country, set up a bank account there, wire the funds to there, then travel there, physically pick up the cash or do whatever, and then bring it with you. There are several different ways to do it. The most expeditious way, the cheapest way is crypto.
Yes, you can still get, no, you cannot get your Social Security if you renounce your citizenship because it's a citizen benefit. So if you say, I no longer want my US passport, they say, okay, well, you no longer want your US money. Simple answer. $10,000 euros without declaration. If more, you have to declare it in writing. If more than 100,000, you have to have papers proving its legal origin. You know, great comment. Please don't change things on me when I'm in the middle of, answering something. Koshka, yeah. The problem is if you can, let's take the US as the example. I've had people who have gone to uh, the border patrol station and wanted to declare their dollars, and there was nobody there. So they have to call a phone number on the door. One guy who was here just a couple of weeks ago told me he called the phone number over and over, wrong phone number. Information desk, he went to them and asked them where to find somebody. And the information desk told him, oh, well, the phone number is wrong. Here's the correct phone number. They called, they waited 3 hours for somebody to come count their money, almost missed their flight. Now, you get to other countries that you're flying through, they have different limits. People coming across the Latvian border, you're allowed 35 euros, or they will seize it from you. So it's dangerous to carry a bunch of money with you, especially because you can't get a direct flight to Russia anymore. Reality is $10,000 or euros. You have to declare it when you arrive too. So, and it's 10,000 per person. And if you're counting you, your wife, and your two children, $40,000, your two children each have to carry 10,000 cash on their body to go out of the country you're leaving and into Russia. So not a wise idea. Bring about $2,000 with you, transfer your money. It's cheaper, it's easier, it's safer. Eddie?
I would say don't even bother. You'll get a worse exchange rate. You'll get a better exchange rate here in Russia. And it's probably, I don't know where you could find it. Maybe Turkey, maybe Armenia,
UAE?
UAE. I have
North
no
Korea?
idea.
You can give them in North
Hey,
Korea.
yeah, I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't even mess with it.
You may be able to get them at an exchange office at a local airport when you're leaving, but like Eddie says, you're going to get a lousy exchange rate. You can actually use the exchange counter in the airport in Moscow. You'll get a lousy exchange rate, but you'll get a better lousy exchange rate than you will in the West.
True.
Next one. You go to your American bank and get Russian rubles and then transfer to Russia. I would bet no. Again, with sanctions, you're not allowed. And people don't understand this. It is illegal for a US citizen to spend US dollars in Russia. So they are not going to give you rubles to travel to Russia to spend your US dollars. I say you send your money here, you're violating sanctions any way you look at it. You can try. Title company's closing statement showing proceeds from the sale of my house should be sufficient proof of source when I want to transfer 200,000. Absolutely. And on the contract, what we'll put on there is that your funds are being transferred from the proceeds of the sale of your house, and you're moving to live in Russia. And that's all I need to send the money, the bank on your end, if they ask. I've never actually been asked by Spurbank or VTB myself about incoming money. But if they ask, then yes, that is sufficient proof. Next. Is it possible to get rubles in the Baltic states? Oh, it is possible to get them in the Baltic states. This is actually Jay saying this, but you have to have euros first, and exchange rates are not great. Yeah, so it's the best way to maximize the exchange ratio from dollars and euros to rubles. You want to answer that, Eddie?
I think your whole show has been about it.
Yeah, that's the best way to maximize it. Or if you're carrying a small amount of cash, couple thousand, you can look around at different banks and see what they'll give you. And it varies. VTB in Crimea right now is giving 86 to 1. Spurbank is giving 91.5 to 1. Avant-Garde in St. Petersburg is giving 97 to 1. So all you can do is look around if you have some cash. Anything else? Yeah, this is true. Only renounce your citizenship after you move permanently. But you know what? I work long and hard in the United States for my pension. I am not going to renounce my citizenship, even though I'm a citizen of Russia, um, just to not be a tax citizen of the United States. I file my taxes and I pay the taxes I have to over there. They no longer have a foreign tax credit in the United States. I used to be able to claim that. So, money I earn in the United States on, I pay taxes to the United States. Money I earn in Russia, I pay taxes to Russia. And thus far, they're both happy, even though they both say I have to pay them taxes on everything in both countries.
And that's fair. I have no problem with that.
Yeah. Should I put it into my Euro Wise account or my US dollar Wise account first and send your Wise account? George, it depends on what your money is. If you're holding Euro, put it into your Euro account, convert it to Canadian dollars. If you are holding US dollars, put it in your US dollar Wise account, convert it to Canadian dollars. Send me the Canadian dollars. You can transfer the exchange rate. You doing it or me doing it, it is roughly the same, but you will save a few dollars if you do the conversion and send it to me. Costs me, it's nothing to transfer it Wise to Wise. It costs me $2 to send it Canadian dollars to the next stop. When presenting the closing statements, will these documents need to be translated to Russian? More than likely, yes. Won't have to be notarized, though, for most banks. Does Uncle Sam require you to pay taxes on your interest-bearing account in Russia? Uncle Sam says that I am required to pay interest on my interest-bearing account in Russia. So, yeah, we'll leave it at that. What you choose to tell Uncle Sam is up to you. If you want to be legal, you tell him, you pay it. If you don't, then you pay the consequences ultimately, or potential consequences. Technically, if you earn interest on your, I know this is a ridiculous statement, if you earn interest on your savings in the United States, or you have a capital gains on stocks or something in the United States, you have to pay Russia on those capital gains. We have wealth exit tax now if you plan to leave permanently with large amounts of cash from Canada. Yes. Reality is since it's going to Canada to start with, you can transfer every bit you want because it's going to a Canadian business account. So you don't even have to do it in increments. Exit tax at 10% of assets is paid if your total assets is 2 million or more. Yeah. So much cheaper to pay me 7.5% to move your money out for you. And on 2 million Canadian dollars to 2 million US dollars, I'll give you a discount. Any comments in our last 6 minutes, Eddie?
Well, yeah, if you have any doubts about Kevin and his ability to move money to Russia, don't. It's completely safe and legal, most important. And it's the best way to get it done. No issues. So I recommend that. Like I said, there are other ways that you can bring money here, but They're going to require travel, most likely. You're going to have to set up a bank account in a third country, and it's just a lot of legwork.
So thank you. This is why you need to pay me, because I keep up on the laws. That's what I get paid for, is my knowledge and keeping you out of trouble. Hey, Rufus. Hey, last minute. Good to see you, buddy. So, Eddie.
All right. I'm going to say this because I saw this somewhere. Where did I see it? I'll put that up there. Oh, right here. Like, share, and subscribe to both our channels. If you're not, if this is your first time here and you don't know who I am, my name is Eddie. I am the Moscow photographer. I am living in Moscow, Russia, and you'll have the information down from my channel. You can go check that out. I've got several lives with Kevin on my Sounding Off podcast, which we will be live again tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. So be sure to tune into that. And go ahead and like both videos, if you will, please. Leave a comment.
And this is Eddie's website. If you need somebody to help you through things in Moscow, meeting you at the airport, getting you to a bank, getting bank accounts open, arranging hotels, or you want general travel advice about traveling in Russia in general.
Just as the title says, Worry-Free Russia, my whole goal and the reason that I exist and this Worry-Free Russia exists is to make your travel to Russia, your travel to Moscow, worry-free, literally. So if you're thinking of coming to visit, well, which I encourage, go to the website, check it out, and then book a consultation with me, and we'll take it from there.
Scott, I haven't. Who is they? I guess. I don't know who they is. It isn't a problem I've heard of. I go back and forth with computers. My daughter goes back and forth with computers. Don't know what to tell you.
Growing Up Rosie, no, it's 8 p.m. Moscow time. This is 12 noon Central time in the States tomorrow.
Yeah, 1 Eastern.
1 Eastern.
6 Great Britain time for my producers. 5 for the rest of you on Greenwich Mean Time.
Yep. And guys, speaking of Worry-Free Russia, I have a consultation to get to, so I've got a hard stop. So I will say until tomorrow. Пока.
See you tomorrow, Eddie.
Okay, bud. We'll see you.
So I too have a hard stop in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Jam, yes, but the lessons you can learn about it is, I'll just say this. I'm not going to say anything about the hares and their situation. The authorities can deal with it. I know the authorities are looking into the situation, and it may not necessarily go the way the hares are claiming it will go, because there's more to the story than you understand. The lessons you can learn from the hare's story is, A, don't burn bridges with those who can help you along the way here. They've burned a lot of bridges. People who tried to help them and did help them, myself included, Tim Kirby, many people along the way. And use your brain. Don't be stupid. You come with a bunch of money, put it in the bank. You're collecting right now almost 19% interest on a savings account. Don't give your money to somebody who tells you they can get you better than that. You aren't going to get better than the banks. Those are the lessons you can learn. That said, um, I want to thank my producers, Jay and Timothy. Without them, I would not have gotten through the show and answered all the questions you guys had, because I would have missed them. And, so thank you. My producers are the best in the business. And that said, I am going to bid you all adieu, and I will see you tomorrow with Eddie, both here or on the American and Crimea channel. I'm not sure which one, or on Eddie's channel, Moscow Photographer. So thank you all. Appreciate you coming, and we'll see you next week if nothing else.
С чего начинается Родина? С окошек, горящих вдали, со старой отцовской буденовки, что где-то в шкафу мы нашли. А может, она начинается со стука вагонных колес, из клятвы, которую в юности ты ей в своем сердце принес. С чего начинается роза?